shall we discuss about the runtime? Because again, I seen a group of questions. So how long you will be able to explore the land with a fully charged vehicle? And then related question was, how long does it take, to get from one side of the land to another one? So probably we can answer those questions in 2 steps. So runtime.
I think there's a good moment to differentiate between the 3D in-game runtime exploration and usage of the vehicles versus their MCC. Because I believe in the MCC, we do mention a stat of runtime. However, that is not related to driving time of the actual vehicle in game. In terms of how long it will take to cross a single land plot in the 3D game, this is something that obviously will change with time and play testing and feedback. But the Caripen, which is a fairly fast vehicle, and we're expecting it to be able to traverse a land in around 5 minutes or so. Obviously, it depends a lot on your land's makeup, like going up and down mountains and craters and stuff like that will make it harder to traverse. If the land in the current demo that we're using, most people know there's a fairly flattish area on the southern side of the land that runs from one end to the other. So if you're running across that flats, then about 4 to 5 minutes is quite reasonable. If you're running the other way, though, north to south on the land, you have to cross a fairly massive mountain and stuff like that, in which case it really varies depending on what route you pick.
Okay.
So that's and in terms of power, of like how long the vehicle would be able to traverse the 3D land on a full charge, our estimate is you should probably be able to circumnavigate the land at least twice on one full charge. So the idea isn't that you need to be running to recharge it all the time, especially specifically with the Terrapin, as range and speed are both some of its strong suits. But as I said, this obviously is something that will be balanced based on player feedback, and I'm sure it will change many times before we find the exact numbers.
Yeah, so shall we mention then those runtimes? What we plan to release in MCC? Like this fully charged vehicle will be capable to explore classic one for 3 hours, while Epic goes for 6 hours, and then Legendary goes for 24 hours. And there's a question actually, is there a difference like if I traverse the land at full speed, or if I travel with Caripen on exploration mission and actually I'm scanning the land? So I assume on the second we should be a bit slower, or is it
Of course that estimate was like full speed, just zooming through the land. You wouldn't really have enough time to be able to scan anything or collect any useful data at that kind of speed. And also if you're exploring the land, then moving in a straight line from one side to the other probably isn't a very efficient way of doing it. You should more be like seeing the data that you're getting from the scans and trying to find ore veins and stuff like that. So you wouldn't be going just in straight lines or stuff like that. You'd be much more following the surface and the scan data to try and find different resources and stuff. However, an important thing to note, the very first version of the Terrapin in the 3D game will not have all of its scanning functional. At the moment, it will be focusing just on the driving physics and stuff like that. And then we'll be integrating the scanning a bit later on down the line.
Yeah.
Because as I said, the first stage is let's get driving fun. So we need feedback on the driving systems, the mechanics of it, all of that. And then we'll be adding more of the unique features to the vehicles, as we're doing with the building system and using power and farming and stuff now.
So there's a question: how do we see the recharge? So recharge, I see the main energy source we are using is electricity in there. So charging is about the electricity.
Yeah, the Terrapin runs on electricity, but that's not exclusive. So different vehicles run on different things. However, the Terrapin runs on batteries and electricity, so you will need to recharge its batteries. But unlike modern electric cars, you can actually physically remove and put in batteries. It runs on the same universal battery cell that most of the machines currently in the game do. So you're able to remove the empty batteries and put in fully charged batteries quite easily. So you don't need to just leave it there charging for an hour without being able to use it. You can manually swap out the batteries. Or if you want an even longer range mission and are willing to sacrifice some of your storage capacity, you could fill your storage with full batteries, giving you twice the range, for example. But then you are dramatically sacrificing what you can carry with you. But if your only objective is to map the land, then that's a fairly efficient way to go about it.